Question number 12, Kanwaljit Singh Bakshi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And my question is to the Minister of Statistics and asks, what is the government doing to modernise the next census?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As part of Budget 2014, I announced a new Internet-first model to be used for the 2018 census. It will transform how the census is delivered and collected and will increase the use of administrative data. We have set a target of 70% of forms to be completed online, but, Mr. Speaker, it's also important to note that the next census, people will be able to request paper forms to be delivered to the household.
Supplementary question, Kanwaljit Singh Bakshi.
What will be the advantages of this new model?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This new model will help counter rising costs and falling response rates, and it will also lead to more timely releases of information. While the new model is technology-driven, there will also be a huge effort to reach people without technology or those who live in remote places. This is the biggest change in census in modern memory, and I'm proud to be part of the national-led government that's responsible for this step change.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Raymond
Huo. Will the Minister include collecting data on foreign ownership of our residential properties in the next census? If not, why not?
Mr. Speaker.
Nicky Wagner.
The census collects information on housing, and the census itself is for households in New Zealand, and it will continue to collect that information.
Order.
Point of order, Raymond Huo.
I asked specifically on foreign ownership.
I invite the member to ask his question again.
Will the Minister include collecting data on foreign ownership of our residential properties in the next census? If not, why not?
Honourable Nicky Wagner.
Mr. Speaker, the census data collects information on ownership of homes, but it doesn't connect that information to the ethnicity of that ownership.
Point of order, Grant.
With respect, Mr. Speaker, that doesn't address the question. That's a statement of fact, and the member was asking if the Minister intends to alter that in some way. So that's the point of the question.
I appreciate that's the point.
For David Benefit's benefit, that was quite clear.
Order. The difficulty, the member's right. The difficulty I have is how many times are we going to have the question? I'll allow one more. Thursday afternoon, the member can repeat his question.
Three strikes. What? I beg your pardon?
Order, order. We don't need the interjections. We need order. We don't need the interjections. We now need the question asked so the Minister can clearly...
New Zealanders. Kiwi, Chinese and New Zealanders are not foreigners.
Order. Just ask the question.
We need to protect the Kiwi Chinese, not foreigners.
Order.
Well,
the House the House will settle down, and now Mr. Huo can rise to his feet and simply ask the question again without any other.
Thank you. My simple question is: Will the Minister include collecting data on foreign ownership of our residential properties in the next census? If not, why not?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Nicky Wagner.
The census has been run for almost 100 years, and it has a longitudinal study of certain questions. However, at each time a new census comes up, those questions can be tweaked, and between now and 2018 we will be looking at all those questions.
Order. That concludes questions for oral answer. Mr. Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, I move that urgency be accorded the introduction and passing of the West Coast Windblown Timber Conservation Lands Bill